Floyd Mayweather came out to Oregon. He fought a guy named Shambe Mitchell, who's the former world champion. It was a Roy Jones promotion, but Roy just kind of loaned his name to it. Andre Ward was on the card, but this is right before Andre was Andre or Floyd was Floyd. And by example, he came out here. It was live on HBO. They papered the house, and they got 5,000 people in the building. So this is just before he break through. In fact, before he was Floyd Money Mayweather, what was he? He was Floyd something. Floyd Showtime Mayweather. It's still when he was with that old persona. And at any rate, I'm working with the Oregon State Boxing Commission, so I get assigned to Floyd's locker room. And essentially, I only had one job, which was that once he wraps his hands, he can't leave my sight for anything. If he goes in the bathroom, I go in the bathroom with him. He can't leave my sight. And that's really my one and only job. So I'm just in this locker room with him, and I'm in there for about 4 hours before he goes out for the main event. And all he does is sit there. He never moves. And he's got 4 or 5 kids in there with him, and he's got one of those old-style, I guess you call it a ghetto blaster, but one of those big jute boxes you carry around and put your CDs in. So he kept instructing the kids, okay, put it on this CD, put it on track number 4, turn it up a little bit. Oh, play that back. That's all he does, and that's all these kids do is they operate his jukebox. And the whole 4 hours, he's telling them how great he is. He's sitting there and he's telling them how he's going to do tonight versus a former world champion. And how great he is. So the time keeps ticking by. Well, all of a sudden, it's 6 o'clock. He's going to leave the locker room at 6:52. And I know this because Guzman's the promoter, and Guzman keeps coming in and saying, Floyd, you have 50 minutes till your walk. We go live at 7 p.m. on HBO, and the very first shot is Shambe coming out, and the second shot is you coming. He explains this whole thing. 6:30 rolls around. Floyd hasn't moved. He's just instructing these kids to do the ghetto blaster. About 6:32 or 3, his Uncle Roger comes in, puts Floyd's trunks on for him. Floyd's now got his gloves on, so he's holding his hands out to the side. His hands, he couldn't grip his shorts if he wanted to. So his uncle pulls up his cup, pulls up his trunks, and then about 6:40 they do a warm-up. Now, Guzman has popped in about 5 times now because he sees Floyd is doing nothing. And he's like, you realize that at 6:52, no matter what, we are leaving this locker room. And Floyd just nods yes and then keeps telling the kids what songs to turn on, and he keeps telling them how great he is. De La Hoya won't fight me. Kazazu beat him twice. Which is actually not true. He only beat Kazazu once, but that was the rhyme that he said. Kazazu beat him twice. And he just kept going. It was so good that I called my mom on my cell phone. I didn't say anything. I just turned it on and let it go so that she could hear what was going on. So, at any rate, at 6:45, 7 minutes before he's got to walk out to fight a world champion, he stands up, and they do this warm-up, which really consisted of Roger hitting Floyd. I mean, I swear to goodness it wasn't Floyd hitting the pads. Like, Roger was bringing the pads to Floyd. All right, it's time to go. It's 6:51 and change. They're waiting for him. The cameras are in there. He's got a matter of seconds, and they put him in a white Nike headband, and he went crazy because he wanted the black headband. So they search, they find the black headband. He's got no warm-up in him whatsoever. But according to me, he has no warm-up. I guess he thought he was warm. He walks out there. He stops the former world champion in the 5th round. He comes back in the locker room. The commission hands him a check for $4.5 million. He stands on like a bench in front of everyone, stands up and holds the check over his head for $4.5 million. Now, all that's in the room is kids. He's surrounded by 12 and 13 and 14 kids, and he says, clap it up, y'all. And everybody stands there and claps as Floyd's sweaty body is standing on this bench holding a check up. That's my Floyd Mayweather story, but I hold on to it because I love it, and it was behind the scenes, and he was a great guy. The whole time I was with him, he was great. He was funny, but he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, for sure. That's Floyd to the T. I mean, he's just a down-to-earth. When you get inside his little circle, I was fortunate enough to spend a couple nights with him, literally all night till 9 o'clock in the morning, and talk with him numerous times, work on him a couple times, like, during those nights. And I really got to know him. And the knowledge that he gives, not only to the people around him, but to his fighters on his promotion team, man, unbelievable how intelligent that man is, really. And I just, the promotion side of TMT is really going to be up and coming, I think. These guys on that team are very good, athletes, very, nice guys, awesome guys. But not only that, but if you have a guy like Floyd, having your back, basically, there's nothing better than that, because Floyd is so intelligent when it comes to making contracts, making sure his fighters are taken care of. And I'm really happy to be, with that team.
What is he going to do with the money team? I actually had a meeting with the commission, a meeting I did not want to be at. I was summoned to. He was there on his own volition, but he was getting a promoter's license that same day. So he's a licensed promoter with TMT, like you said. But what are they going to do? And the reason I ask is he has flirted with getting into MMA or doing a co-promote, but he hasn't pulled the trigger. He was even having talks with John Jones, who was close to signing with the money team. Is he? Do you have any insight? Is he jumping into promotion, or is he just sticking with boxing?
No. He's trying to do is he's trying to basically promote a bunch of different areas, and it's all the money team, basically. So I know he's got into rap and hip-hop. He signed a couple guys under his TMT into rap. He's got I believe about 12 fighters now that I work on over there at the Mayweather Boxing Club that are under his. I knew he was going with John Jones, trying to get that going, and a couple other guys. But, I believe he wants to, get into little areas of everything and just sort of make TMT bigger than what it already is. He's taken his guy, Little James, this guy's going to blow up pretty soon, and Floyd's doing all of it. Floyd really loves to do the business side of things. That's why I don't think he'll ever fight again. He doesn't enjoy training. He said that to me a couple of times. He doesn't enjoy the day-to-day training anymore. What he enjoys is making the contracts. He enjoys making the business side of things. That's what he loves. That's his passion now. That's his purpose. He said to me, it was very interesting, why do a lot of millionaires or billionaires kill themselves or commit suicide? Because they have no purpose in life. Well, his purpose right now is to help people and, business sense, and help them, build their brands and get better contracts for his boxers or for the people under the TMT name.
Yeah,
really interesting.
I think that is very interesting. I'll tell you one more Floyd story just from my day. So his cut man, and I'm sure you met him, is named Frenchie. That's the guy that wears the hat that's got all the pins on it. Wherever you see Floyd, you see Frenchie. And
yes.
when they were wrapping Floyd's hands, there was a rule, and it's a rule in MMA too. It's just MMA guys, either they don't know it or they don't ever take advantage of it. But if you want to send in somebody from your team to watch the other guy wrap his hands, you can. Well, in boxing, they do that. So Sean Bay Mitchell had his head corner in the room watching Floyd wrap his hands. And, of course, I'm sitting there, too. I'm with the commission, so that's what we got to do. Sign off on it, do all the things. And so Frenchie's wrapping the hands, and Frenchie not only wraps his hands, but he's his cut man. And so they're wrapping his hands, and Floyd doesn't say anything. They're just wrapping his hands. He's focusing on the fight. And then all of a sudden, Floyd tells Frenchie, hey, Frenchie, when the fight starts, I want you to go with him. And he nods over to Sean Bay Mitchell's guy. And Frenchie says, what? And Floyd goes, don't worry about it. I'll pay you the same, but I want you to go with him. And Frenchie says, but why, Floyd? And Floyd says, because this guy's going to need 2 cut men. And right, see, it's so Sean Bay Mitchell's guy, who is in there with a stone face, he's in there to catch any improprieties. He's in enemy territory. He just starts laughing. There was nothing you could do with that statement that wasn't funny. So even Sean Bay's guy, who's got this statue poker face on, just cracks up laughing. Is like, that's pretty good.